World, China is warning the European Union against what it calls a deeper slide into protectionism. The reactions come a day after Brussels released a draft plan to phase out components and equipment from so-called high-risk suppliers. Those plans are set to include Chinese tech giant Huawei. Beijing says Chinese firms operate in Europe legally and pose no security threat. Huawei has also criticized the move. The proposals are part of revisions to the European Union's Cybersecurity Act, driven by rising cyber and ransomware attacks, fears of foreign interference, and reliance on non-European Union technology. The Commission has not named any companies or countries. Across Europe, security of Chinese technology is tightening. Germany has also launched a trade policy review and will bar Chinese parts from future 6G networks. Listen in first to what the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman had to say.
中方注意到有关报道，对此表示严重关切。中国企业长期在欧洲依法合规经营，从未危害欧洲国家安全，而是有力促进了欧洲电信和数字产业的发展，为欧洲民众提供了优质的产品和服务。
All right, request Saul to join me back in the discussion here. Saul, while the Europe is quite measured in, doing these reviews of tech from China, the question remains, is the European Union prepared with its own technology assets or infrastructure to rely on its own products, should it want to reduce reliance again on not just China, Russia, but also the United States?
The European Union's manufacturing base has been absolutely hollowed out for a number of reasons. I mean, the first reason is because of all the manufacturing that's been shifted over to China due to China's own protectionist policies, which have led to essentially flooding the market with cheap products that Europeans cannot compete with. At the same time, they're facing a problem from Russia, although they have cut off trade with Russia. But Russia ensured, for example, via its activities in the German political scene over the past decades, that Germany shut down all their nuclear power plants, making them entirely dependent on foreign imported petrochemicals. Because, of course, the wind and solar that they put up is no use to them, since they have very little wind and solar. It's not a sunny or windy place. So Germany has crippled their manufacturing capacity. So that's the second way it's taken it. And now they are facing a trade war with the United States. So the European Union trade situation, the manufacturing base, is facing a trifecta of chaos from all three directions, from its three primary trading partners, or what used to be them, Russia, China, and the United States. It's unclear how they can get out of this mess. And certainly the fact that they don't have enough power generation isn't going to help them at all.
So, important also to note here is that the US has also banned approvals of new telecommunications equipment from Huawei and also ZTE earlier in 2022, and it had encouraged Europe to do the same. Do you think the fact that Europe is progressing in that direction at this point in time is also due to the tariff threats and the threat to acquire Greenland?
Well, yes, absolutely. So Europe, as you can see, is now stuck between a rock and a hard place, because on the one hand, they want to face up to America. At the same time, they know that the risk of buying very advanced technologies, the best stuff that China can produce, made by Huawei, puts them at risk of cyber security issues that they have no remedy for. Here in Israel, for example, 2 days ago, it was announced that various restrictions are going to be placed on Chinese manufactured electric vehicles. Not because these Chinese vehicles are not good, because they're fine. The problem is that no one understands what these computers on wheels have the capacity to send back to China. And in the event of any war between Israel and China, or rather an ally of China or someone that China wants to help, then Israelis do not know what kind of data will get sent back to Israel's enemies. And that same quandary applies to everyone in Europe. If Europe are buying all their high-tech internet equipment from China, Will China have the ability to shut that down at will, or to cause problems, or to collect data? No one knows.
All right. Saul, do stay on as we proceed.